What is up, guys? So today's video, we're going to be updating you on what is going on with the car, where we're at, what to expect, and kind of the timeline that we're going to do it on. So I got some stuff that just showed up. You can probably tell from this box here, and a couple other things that I want to share with you guys too. So I'm pretty pumped on this. I'm learning a lot. So hopefully you guys are learning stuff and we can do this together, if that sounds weird at all. But at the same time, I'm learning and I'm sharing the project and the process with you guys. So let's keep it up and let's keep doing it. So last few videos, we've covered a lot, and everything you guys have seen on the videos is where we're at right now. And I do want to mention that everything that you guys have seen was done just in a weekend. I haven't touched this thing all week. Omar and I motored through this thing on the weekend, and every video that you guys have seen this week has all been from Saturday and Sunday of the previous week. So we are just cooking on this thing. And I'm hoping that we're gonna be able to get it running by this weekend and at least movable. So this just showed up today. So I'm gonna share with you guys what this is. And you guys probably already can tell, ACT, they're well-known brand. I had this same ACT clutch in my last vehicle. I had a different disc in it, but the same pressure plate, and we were making 607 horsepower at the wheels, and it was holding. So I think this thing will do just fine for a stock car. So here you go. Everything is here. It's gonna be brand new. We're gonna do a complete video on this install, but the clutch is here. We got a brand new disc. There's a pressure plate underneath this. We got a new release bearing. This was the part that actually failed on the last one. And if there's some S2000 gurus here or, experts in here that are watching this video, I know that this is one of the most failed parts. A lot of people sit there and say to go with an OEM Honda bearing, but I ran this bearing from ACT on my last clutch and I didn't have any issues. And this bearing, you guys, is, I don't know, I'll let you guys in on how much one of these bearings is. So if you were to buy this bearing from Honda, this tiny, silly little bearing, it's almost $200. It's like $180. It already comes with my kit. It's brand new. It's from a well-known manufacturer. So I think we should be okay. Worst comes to worst, we'll have to dismantle it, but I'm hoping that's not going to happen. Like I said, it's pretty well-known brand. If this was a cheap no-name kit, we might have some issues, but we should be okay. I mean, they already know that we're going to be running a heavy-duty clutch, so I can only suspect that they would at least have a decent bearing company to supply with. And again, I've ran this exact setup with the exception of just a 6-puck on my last build with the S2000 years ago and didn't have any problems. So we have everything brand new. We got the clutch alignment tool, pilot bearing, the disc. They give us some grease that we put on the splines and the throw-up bearing. And then down there, you guys can see the pressure plate. So kind of ironic, we got a yellow clutch for a yellow car. It was yellow on the last car, but it was on a red car. But we got all that stuff. And another super exciting thing, you guys. So here's where all the body work is at. We're going to get to sanding this weekend. Clutch is happening this weekend. We're going to fit these body panels in the front. I still got to try to locate a front bumper because I still haven't got one from the person that I purchased it off of. He removed the front one and I'm still trying to get it off him, but it's not happening. These are backup fenders just in case the spoon ones fit like garbage for some reason. So we do have OEM fenders if we have to. Other reason why we're not just going strictly with OEM, they're heavier and they aren't that wide. So we're adding quite a bit of width to the back of the car, and on the front of the car, we want to be able to run an aggressive stance too. Again, the goal for this car is to be able to go to the track and tear it up, and the extra width with the wide body kit is going to help to fit bigger wheels in there with a lot more meat. So this thing is what I want to talk about today because I'm kind of pumped on this. It looks pretty beat up, honestly, but it's not that old. It was just left outside in the sun, so it's got some fading. But the irony is we're actually going to be fixing this. And if you guys see this compressor, it's a 6-horsepower compressor. So I did my research on paint guns and compressors, and this one fits the bill. So as far as the CFM that it does, we're gonna get one of those, it actually has a chart right here, high volume, low pressure spray gun. This one has a chart rating. It says that 6 is if you want to be pro, and we're compressor rating at 6. So this thing can handle a spray gun, a paint gun. It's a 30-gallon tank, as you can see there. And with a 6-horsepower motor on it, it's kind of perfect in my opinion. I was thinking about getting one of those big ass like 60-gallon ones, but then you have to get into wiring and do 220 volts. This one, you simply just plug it into the wall and you're good to go. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna get the rest of the stuff to be able to paint. I'm ironically gonna paint this since this thing kind of looks, you know, dated or faded. I'm gonna paint this, test my painting skills on the actual tank real quick, and then we're gonna move to the car. So we'll start with the tank, painting that thing, and then we'll get to the car. I've already kind of done my due diligence on researching how we're gonna prep this. And the way it seems to go, there's a million different ways to skin a cat, but the general consensus is any of your body filler and stuff like that, you wanna sand it with, get it to shape with about an 80 grit. After you get it kind of the rough work done, then you wanna sand everything with around 220 to 240. And once you have your primer and everything else, all those areas, you're gonna sand the entire car with 400 grit, and then you're ready to paint. So in a lot of areas where, you know, the surface is already okay, we're gonna end up sanding the whole thing with 400. This paint's already on here, it's factory paint, so we'll adhere to that in a lot of places. And obviously we're gonna have to spray some primer in some of these areas that we're touching up. So that is gonna be the plan. There is some miscellaneous dents, and if we're gonna do it, we might as well do it right. You guys can probably see that one there. Again, I've showed you guys how to find dents in body panels. You kind of run the light across them and you can spot them like daylight. Knowing that is kind of a blessing and a curse, because once you can see stuff like that and dents in bodywork, like for example here, I think I showed you guys in the last video, get a light to refract and you can see it. So see how the light's straight here, you move across and then all of a sudden you get this arc. That means there's a dent there or a shape in the body panel. So like I said, that's kind of a blessing and a curse knowing how to do that, because like I said, it'll drive you crazy. You'll see every single dent in any body panel or crappy body work. But what I do have to do is, we do have the bumper back here. We're gonna have to do this repair like I mentioned before. Repair here, we're gonna finish this. Oh, I should show you that, guys. Sorry, I'm jumping all over the place, you guys. So like I mentioned, we're gonna have to weld this. I have this really basic entry level welder that we're gonna just tack it with. It should do the job, honestly. It's really not a fancy welder, it's just a MIG, but we'll blast it. We'll get some tack welds on here, and then we're gonna put seam sealer. So I gotta bend this up still. So like you guys saw in the last video, on the other side, I was tapping with the hammer to get it into shape. So we're gonna have to bend this up, sand it so we get to bare metal, and then tack it probably every inch or so along the way, and then we'll seam seal it, grind it so it's all smooth, and probably one more coat of seam sealer, and that should be it for those. Also, those bolts are showing up for the fenders. Guys, we got lots of stuff on the way. I'm excited, and like I said, it's not, obviously we got the Viper beside it, so I mean, it's not like this is, you know, the fanciest car or the most expensive car we've had on here, but I'm just excited to build this thing, kind of mess with different techniques or just switch things up and try things that I've never done before as far as some of the body fillers. So I've done body work on an S2000 before. The last one I did a lot of wide body kit stuff to it, but custom, but I had an assistance. This I'm kind of on my own with my own research, and it's pretty fun. One thing I do want to mention is you guys can probably see this here, and the seats are out of the vehicle. Well, we kind of just dropped that one in as well. Is you guys remember in the video with Supercar Suspects, when the car fell off the lift, the top was down, and also the center console was missing. So I think I mentioned this in another video, is when the center console is missing, it has the button to raise and lower the soft top on the center console, and they misplaced the center console, or in the midst of them removing the transmission to do the clutch job. The center console, I honestly think, is still at the last shop. I didn't even try to do anything as far as trying to get a hold of those people or try to, I don't want to really be associated with any of that nonsense. So I just went ahead and ordered a new center console that's going to have the switch. Where I'm going with this is the soft top wasn't up, you guys. So the soft top was down the entire time, right from when it left that shop, right until when the last owner got it. And that means it was outside at the auction in the rain, with a lot of rain that we were getting here, and it filled up with water. So I think I showed you guys, or if I didn't show you, the trunk had about 6 inches of water in it when I got it. I had to shop back a lot of the water out. And if you look here, see this kind of water line here? And you can see all this like toilet paper type stuff. That's just papers that were in the car that turned into paper mache type thing. And I gotta pull the carpet out. So I haven't decided if I'm gonna try to keep this carpet and try to, you know, steam clean it or shop vac it and shampoo it, or if we're just gonna remove the carpet and just rock it bare metal since we're going for the race car thing. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Should I try to clean up the carpets? Should I just rip it out and just run it? Like, it's gonna be this kind of off yellow color is what the floor is gonna look like. It's not gonna be any different. So it's gonna be a combination of factory primer and this kind of slightly yellowish haze on the floor. So do you guys think we should rip out the carpet, blast the floor this nice yellow when we paint the car? Or do you think that we should try to clean up the carpet? Or do you think we should just leave it this boring yellow color? As for the actual paint color of the car, it's not official just yet, but I think what we are gonna do is probably repaint it the factory spa yellow that it came in. Reason being is I kind of want to keep the banana theme. It's gonna be a lot less work to try to paint all in the door jambs and all under the hood in the engine bay. That's a whole nightmare to try to color change an engine bay. So I kind of just want to keep the base color like that, and then if we end up getting crazy with it, we'll end up vinyl wrapping the rest of it. But I'm kind of inclined to at least take a stab at using the air compressor, paint this thing. We're going to paint it in the garage. We'll move the Viper out. We'll make a little booth here so we don't get overspray on anything. And we're going to try and paint this thing yellow again. We'll take a shot at it, see how it comes out. If it comes out terrible, we'll wrap it immediately, or maybe not. Maybe we'll just go track it, but that is the plan. All right, you guys, so I know that was a lot of talking, but I wanted to kind of share some of the build with you guys rather than actually just showing you the process, because there is a lot of thought that goes into this and planning and trying to get it, all the pieces to make it happen and keep it flowing. I think that's one of the most important things with these builds is keeping the momentum, you know, making sure we have parts here and stuff to do. Myself, I get bored. That's part of the reason why I tackled this project, because it was exciting. It's something different and trying to fix something. But at the same time, like I said, planning all this stuff, you know, getting an air compressor, getting the welder, getting all these pieces that have to go on the car to fix it. It definitely takes some planning to get it all right, but it's a fun process. And honestly, I've said this before, but I think what we're gonna do is use what we're learning from this car and this build and just do it with the next. So if we motor through this one and we have this car and we can go to the track and it's pretty well built, there's still a lot of stuff, right? So even if we get it running and we get the body done, we still gotta find wheels, we'll probably do brakes, and some other components that come along with making a car track ready, but it does look like it's gonna be ready within the month. So that's my goal. I wanna make it to some of these track events that are already happening down here as soon as possible. So I'm hoping like 2 weeks that this thing, we can start taking it out to track events. So that's my goal. Just wanted to get you guys up to speed on what the intentions are with the car, but still a lot of stuff. Like I said, I still got to find wheels that are the correct offset, because these offsets are a joke. I still have to find suspension too. So lots of stuff on the way. You guys don't want to miss it. One last thing I want to say is double check you guys on your post notifications. So next to the subscribe button down below, you guys will see a little bell. Make sure it's clicked. I've been posting a ton of videos, but I'm not too sure what's going on, because I think for some reason a lot of people aren't getting notified. I've even had people ask me when I'm going to post a video. I know on Instagram I kind of give you guys a little bit of a preview of what I'm going to post, and some people are asking when I'm going to post it. It's like for some reason they're not seeing the post. So double check you guys that little bell notification is on next to the subscribe button, because it'll send you a notification when I upload the video. But anyways, you guys, thanks so much for watching. We got a lot on the way, so you don't want to miss it. We'll see you on the next video. Take care.